Okay, let's hope I don't lose internet again. Sorry, everybody. I've had one heck of a time today. Trying to get on and do this live video. I think somebody's been out there, probably Jackie, trying to come with me on the video 2 or 3 times now. So I ended up having to not use my cell phone because apparently the internet service to my cell phone, I don't know what's going on in this house. We're having some issues. Right now I'm plugged directly into my computer, my desktop with my Logitech webcam, and I've got my my new light kit that I bought set up behind it. So hopefully you guys can see a little bit better. This room is not well suited for videoing or taking pictures. So for those of you, hey Maria, Mia, actually Sylvia, I guess. And so this room is not well suited for videos and pictures and that kind of thing when it comes to lighting. It is great for when I'm painting because I have all kinds of bright light coming in, but I don't get the right light for video. So anyway, I just wanted to jump on here and say hi. Let's see. I'm scared to move this camera too much because it's kind of not set good. Anyway, so for those of you that have never joined me on live video before today, this is just a hey, how you guys doing, chatting video. There's nothing in particular going to happen here. I just wanted to see if anybody else was going to come on that might have any questions about painting with air dry paints that I could answer. Sylvia, I wanted to let you know, I don't know if you saw or not, but I decided to do a giveaway with the paints that you sent me. I've tried them a little bit, and they seem like very nice paints. I just have so many paints, unbelievable amount of paints that I have here. So, and I have my favorites, and I'm in the process of paring down some of the ones that I don't use so much because I don't want things to dry up and not get used. So I did a drawing, and Mandy West, or a secret, I actually did a secret giveaway. So Mandy Westmoreland won, and I'm going to be sending the paints to her, not the varnish, because I like the varnish. I want to play with the varnish some. I will tell you a couple of things about the varnish that I didn't like, some things I do like. So I'll go over that in just a minute. But for Mandy, I'm going to send her the paints, and she's going to play around with the paints and paint a baby and report back to us how she liked the paints. So that will give you a good test run with her as the average user. Mandy's taken a couple of air dry painting classes from me, so she's painted a few Reborns, but she's still fairly new to this. So I'm going to send those to Mandy. So I'm excited to see what she does with them. She's actually in the process of purchasing a baby from me. She's bought several of my babies, so the paints will be sent out with the baby when she gets done paying it off, which is in another week or two. About the sealer, this is my observations on the sealer. So I did find that you have to apply a very small amount, like you said, and pounce it a lot to get the very matte look. I did like that when I was putting them over the pan pastels that I didn't get a lot of lift off of my pan pastels. So I didn't pull them back off, and it did a great job of sealing it. I was not able to get it quite as matte as I would like for it to have been if I was using it as a final sealer. But on the flip side of that coin, I was not finished painting that baby, and I wanted to put some more paint layers on him and then varnish him again, so it wasn't that big of a deal to me. I will tell you that I have an issue in my hand that runs right down here, tendonitis issue, and so when I am painting a lot, especially when I'm pouncing a lot and doing this movement right here, this gets very, very sore. And I have had my hand, and I'm going to do it with this hand because this one's bothering me. I'm going to show you, but I've had that hand literally locked like that on that thumb on me, and extremely painful when I have overused it. And it's really sore right now because I've just come off of painting that silicone baby. And when you paint with silicone, it's a tacky paint. So one of the reasons that I personally would not use your varnish as much as a final sealer is because of the fact that I had to do a lot of pouncing to get it matte, and I like a very matte finish on my Caucasian babies. And because my hand was already a little sore from having been painting a lot, it did work my hand a lot doing all that pouncing. That's me. That's a That's a condition issue that I have right now. The same goes true with Genesis matte varnish. You have to pounce Genesis matte heat set varnish really well to get it pounced out thin. And that's another reason why I just don't hardly ever use Genesis varnish anymore, because it makes my hand hurt to get the baby the way that I really want it to look. The reason I don't root hair anymore is all the rooting of the needle and holding it in that position hurts my hand. So that is the one thing that if I had to say was negative for me about the varnish, is that you have to pounce it so much to get the matte finish that I like. That was kind of a drawback for me, because I'm used to the varnish mixes that I mix my own varnish. And if you read in the file section, you'll see I've come up with a way to get a nice matte finish. So, and I won't elaborate on that so much. The baby that I was working on is a Behringer. It started out, this is an old Behringer. This was somebody else's that sent it to me. A good friend of mine, Janann Duncan, sent me this because I had mentioned to her that I loved this Behringer face, and I used to reborn this baby a lot back when we were reborning Behringers, when I started this in 2004. And I was going to try to restore this baby and make a nice little quarter limb baby, but it started out as a very orange vinyl. You can see on the end how orange the vinyl is. And then at one time it had, I don't know if you can see a little bit of the residue up inside, it had some purple painting, because back in the early days we used to put purple inside. So I had removed that and stripped all that off, but because of that it had a bit of an unevenness to the skin tone. Was more orange in some places than others. So I played around with some blue washes, and then I just decided that I was going to make this an AA baby, because that was the only way I could really cover and get a more even skin tone. And he's still not 100%. You can see he's still a little blotchy in there. I did use some powders on him, and then paints as well. And he's mostly painted with Reborn Effects paints. I did use the paints that Sylvia sent me for his blushing on his hands and feet. And this is a little budget baby I'm playing with. I'm just going to sell him really cheap for somebody who's looking for like a nursing home baby or a kid's baby. But I did use the blushing on his feet as one of the shades of blushing. I did go back over them with another shade that was a little bit darker, that was actually some golden fluid paints. So anybody that has followed me that knows much about me knows that I like to use a lot of different paints. I'm not hard set to only one brand of paint and products, but I do have 2 or 3 brands that I like to use, which are Reborn Effects. I like their line of paints. I like some of their mediums. I like the golden fluid paints and some of the golden mediums. I like some of the mediums from Joe Sonja's. I like the browns in the Joe Sonja's for brown mixes of hair paints. I mix them with other paints. And I like the Liquitex acrylic gouache paints that are actually acrylics, but they have a gouache finish. So those are what I have in my repertoire about here behind me. And so I'm pretty paint picky, I guess you could say. But here's the little hands on the baby. So I was able to bring him about to the point that I've got him. I've restored an old beloved Behringer, and I think he's going to be a sweet little baby. And I've actually sewn a body for him. I don't sew my own bodies anymore. Nowadays, most kits come with bodies, but let me jump up and grab this. I'll show you. So I did sew a body for him, and I used just a basic teardrop pattern, and then I've got strings on it. There'll be legs attached and arms attached. I'm laying it down here for a minute so I can show you. So that the body will be, oops, I got one, like this when it's done. And it's been so long since I've sewn bodies that I forgot I had gotten rid of all my joints and sent them to a lady who sews bodies all the time. And I went to put joints in the baby and realized I didn't have any. And usually you could run to Hobby Lobby around here. I have a Hobby Lobby, a Michael's, and a Joann's in my town. And I used to go run to one of these places and get a little pack of teddy bear joints. Well, nobody I went to all 3 places and nobody had them. So I ended up having to order some off of Etsy, and I'm still waiting on them to get here. So when they do, I will assemble this body. I will assemble this baby. I think I will dress it as a boy. I keep seeing it as a boy, and I'll put him up for sale. I may just do like an on my page auction for him. He'll be a cheap baby. His head did have the real deep groove hairlines, and I tried to sand them off as best I could, but you can see where the light hits it sometimes that he does still have some of the groove lines. I was not able to get him totally smooth, but I think between the paint and the sealer I put on him, you can probably, right there at that angle, you can see right up in here, you can see a little bit of it. So anyway, I think when it's all said and done, and I will root him some eyelashes, he'll be a sweet little cuddly baby for somebody looking for something that's more in the play baby category or comfort therapy baby category. So the other thing I was going to do, if nobody came on and asked questions, let's see. Looks like you are the only one here, Sylvia. The other thing I was going to do was I put some kits up for sale of my own. I'm downsizing. I am getting more into painting silicone. I'm actually going to take an online class with Susan Gibbs, and I have a silicone baby that I'm going to practice on her techniques on, and I'll show y'all that in a minute. Excuse me, the Georgia pollen is just choking me to death. It's been really bad today. But I have one of these kits that I have up for sale that I've had a lot of questions about, so I want to show it to you guys. I've had several people to say, what kind of kit is this? Isn't this a Behringer baby? It looks like a Behringer baby. And that's not it. I've got bags here everywhere. And it is not a Behringer baby. It is not a knockoff kit either. I'm 99.9% sure because of where I bought it. So this is the kit that I have up for sale that I bought from McPherson's, and they have it listed as Emily or Yvonne. I don't know why one's called one and one's called the other. I don't know. They have 4 in this little line of kits, and they're now on their, I think in their budget section. But anyway, this kit does have the exact same face. I mean, I've reborn a lot of these babies, and I know. It does have the exact same face as what we used to call the Interested face by Behringer. The name on the back of this kit is M space Dolls. I don't know who that is, but it's M space Doll. I don't know if you can see the M. It's kind of faint. I'm backwards here. Let's see. Right there, M Dolls. And then there's a little 3 down there. I can tell you from feeling of it, it's a Euro vinyl or Spanish vinyl, one of the two. It's the softer. See, Behringers are not soft like this. It's not China vinyl. I can tell the difference when I feel something. This is not China vinyl. It has a smooth head. It's not a Behringer doll. This is also a bigger baby. This makes an 18 to 19-inch baby. The Interested face that Behringer did was a little 14-inch baby. And I don't know how that works, but this is the legs. And so they are the same. I mean, I can tell you it is the same mold. The only thing I can figure is that the same company that produces the Behringer dolls produced these, possibly. And it could be a Spanish doll, a Spanish vinyl from the same company that produces the Behringers, that maybe they did this line of reborn kits. I honestly do not know. All I can tell you is that I know Brenda well enough to know that McPherson's would not be selling anything that is a knockoff. So, and that's where I originally got the kit. I'm just holding these legs up for y'all to see them. But you can see they're a little bigger than the typical little Behringer legs, but it is the same. I mean, yeah, they do have the same mold. So anyway, and it's a nice soft vinyl. If it doesn't sell, I'll reborn it, absolutely. The holes on the flanges were the little bitty tiny ones, and I cut them open bigger because whenever I get a kid in, I immediately put it in a hot tub, hot sink full of hot soapy water and wash it. So this kit has already been washed once. Not that you might not want to wash it again, but I always wash all my kits and then pack them away into cloth bags. And then when I pull them out, I may wash them again before I actually prime them. I do use primer. So anyhow, this kit will make an 18-inch baby. So that's the baby. I don't have the other arm up here, but that's the baby that everybody's been asking me, what baby is that? If I can figure out how to hold it straight on camera. There we go. Eye size. Looks like it might take an 18-inch eye. Looks like it. So, cute little baby. So anyway, that's that baby. And I'd had several people write me and ask me about that. What exactly what baby that was. Got a piece of fuzz on it. And so that's that. I want to put on some gloves, and I'll show you guys the silicone I'm going to be painting in Susan's class. Let's see, has anybody else joined me? Nobody's here but me, looks like. That's okay. This will be left up after it goes away. So let me show y'all the silicone baby, and then I will depart. Since I have nobody here asking any questions. Trying to figure out where I put my gloves. Hang on a minute. I moved them. Okay, let me grab them. All right, so I've got my baby, my silicone over here. I'm going to pull it out of the box that I've got it laying in. Okay, so here's the silicone. I've washed him and wiped him down in acetone once, but I'll do another wipe down with acetone before I actually start painting him. I mean. So this baby, I got this baby from Silicone Doll Kits of Australia. Cindy Ibbotson, I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, is the one who produced and sculpted and poured this kit. This is one of her babies. And it is more of a budget silicone, so it is it's a full body silicone. It's poured in EcoFlex 20. What's budget about it is that this mold does have seam lines, and they're very slight. She did a good job of trimming them, and I've actually sanded them too. I don't know if you can even see them on the video. There you can see it a little bit under the arm. You can see them on the underarm probably better than on the side. So this baby does have mold lines. It's got a pour spout area at the top that I'm going to work on a little bit. So as I'm painting it, I'm going to smooth the mold lines out as much as there's one that runs right. I've already, like I said, they were trimmed, and I've already sanded them some too. So I'm going to smooth them out as much as I can while painting them. They'll probably not be totally gone because they run the full length of the side on both sides of the baby. So I think this baby must have been poured, cast, or however they do it. I'm not a silicone person, in two pieces, like a front and a back, and then them and poured together. Because of the way that it looks, the line runs all the way over the head and down, all the way down the whole half of the body. So, but I still think that once it's painted, it'll be a sweet little baby. This will be a nice little silicone for somebody who's wanting a full body silicone and they're on a budget. She is 16 inches long. And she's a preemie that has that slender preemie look. So She's what I'm going to be working on as long as she takes the paint. If I run into issues with her not taking the paint, God help me. That is not fun. So anyway, she's what I'm planning to use in Susan's class unless I change my mind. And she will be up for sale when I'm done. She's very sticky because she's EcoFlex 20 and she's obviously not been matted and all that right now. So yeah, silicone is very sticky when it's not painted and matted. So once you paint it matted, you seal off those silicone oils and whatnot. So you'll notice with your silicones, with your raw silicone sculpts like this, that when you lay them on tissue paper, you'll see that when you pick it up, there'll be a little oily spot on the tissue paper because these things do leach a little oil, silicone oil, until they're finished painting and sealed off with the matting powder. So that's why they feel a little sticky. So anyway, there she is. She does take a pacifier. She's got open mouth. It's very tight little space. She does have a little bit of a tongue in there too. So it's going to be interesting for me how I'm going to get that painted up in there too. That's going to be interesting. Thank you, Stephanie. So we'll see how this goes. Y'all wish me luck. I'll be taking this online with this class is an online class that Susan Gibbs is doing the week of the 22nd, I think it is. And she's going to be teaching it every day for several hours a day. Unfortunately, because I can't take the whole week off from work, I have to work my regular work week. So I work Mondays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. So the only 2 days I will have that I will be able to go online with her when she's live will be on Tuesdays and Fridays. So I will be running behind everybody else working on my baby, but I'm not new to silicone painting, so hopefully I can kind of keep up. So anyway, that's my little silicone baby I'm going to be doing soon. Little jiggly wiggly. And alrighty. So that is that. Did anybody, while I'm here, before I end the day, I see there's 5 people watching. I don't know who you are. Does anybody have any questions for me? As far as the whole thing about me trying to do an online class with you guys and getting into that, that's all kind of had to be put on hold. I want to learn how to do Zoom meetings where we can actually talk to each other, is my understanding. I've never, ever been in a Zoom meeting. I had to get finished with the silicone for Marissa's project, and Marissa is moving this Thursday. She can move into her new place. She's going to start moving Thursday and be moving through the weekend, different stages out of my house. And my husband's birthday is next weekend, the 17th. And then we are having someone coming in to redo our entire bonus room, which is our enclosed garage. We had that done 23 years ago, and we've not had the carpet replaced since then. We've not had any painting done. There's ceiling work that needs to be done where the ceiling's cracked, the sheetrock's cracked, and stippling is coming apart and that kind of thing. So we got a lot going on. So I'm not sure when I will actually be able to sit down and focus more on online class. I want to do one. I want to do some test classes, like just some test things where we can get in and try it. But anyway, I want you all to know I did not forget. I had full intentions of doing that. And then I'm also having this issue with my internet right now being kind of ticky. So that's the other thing. Any questions? Do I have any questions before I go? Anybody got anything you're having any difficulty with your painting? You got any questions about anything? Speak now. I'm not seeing anything. Okay. I don't want to bore everybody. Thank you. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day and a fabulous week. And I will catch you around hopefully soon. Be on the lookout for things I'll be putting up. I do have the kits for sale. Look on my page. I've got a few kits I'm selling. I'm moving I'm not sure what I'm going to do. I've thought about somewhat about moving more towards silicone and less in vinyl, but then on the other hand, I enjoy painting vinyl. Silicone is very challenging and very expensive to get into. Um, so I'm not sure. I might just continue to do like I'm doing and do a little bit of both. But anyway, the next year will be an interesting one. We'll see. I'll talk to you later. Bye.